As part of the NFL's master plan to eventually take over the world, there will be 3 regular season games played on foreign soil this year, including a Week 1 matchup between the Packers and Eagles for the first time ever in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The international series has a rich tradition of going to the best and most beautiful stadiums the rest of the world has to offer. So let's take a look at them, shall we? Critiquing every foreign NFL stadium is coming up right the freak now. Wembley Stadium, London, England. This is actually the second version of the iconic Wembley Stadium, opened in 2007 and often called New Wembley Stadium. That's fitting. The most obvious feature is the huge arch that stands a wild 436 feet above the ground, which is about the same height as a 31-story building. What's interesting is that the roof does not fully cover the pitch. The entire system is used to adjust for shading during afternoon games. Wembley has hosted an astounding 25 NFL games since 2007 and is set to host another in 2024 between the Jaguars and the Patriots. Speaking of the Jags, Shahid Khan actually tried to buy Wembley in 2018, but withdrew his bid shortly thereafter. Interestingly enough, the only permanent tenant to Wembley is the England national football team, as it's used more as a concert venue and an arena for other sports, including rugby and obviously the NFL. I think it's a nice, clean venue, and it looks like it fits American football in it perfectly. Twickenham Stadium, London, England. A stadium with a very fun name to say, Twickenham Stadium, was originally built in 1907 but has steadily been upgraded and renovated, the last major change coming in 2018, which saw the east stands upgraded and the roof structure completed. This is a very utilitarian looking stadium with brutalist architecture, more of a throwback style as opposed to the other European venues you will see on this list. Twickenham has hosted 3 NFL games, all coming from 2016 to 2017, with one game being an absolute snoozer as the Rams issued the Cardinals a 33-0 rogering in front of a sellout crowd. I know I probably didn't use that term right, but who cares? Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London, England. Opened in 2019, this is the premier stadium for not just the UK, but for the entire world. Or is it premier? Built adjacent to its predecessor, White Hart Lane, which was torn down, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has a unique stone, concrete, and glass exterior, as well as ultra-clean sight lines inside the stadium. It also has a retractable pitch that can be removed in 3 pieces, allowing the stadium to be used for multiple purposes. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has already hosted 8 NFL games since 2019, with 2 more scheduled for the upcoming season. Allianz Arena, Munich, Germany. The home of Bayern Munich, Allianz Arena was opened in 2005 to rave reviews, as it has a unique exterior LED and fabric roof system. It was thought that fitting an NFL-sized field would be cramped here, however they made it work for the 2022 International Series game between the Seahawks and the Bucks, the first ever regular season game in Germany. NFL and German fans were wowed by the setup. A second game is scheduled at Allianz in 2024 between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Gosh, that sounds like an awful game. Probably the worst atrocity to ever happen in Germany. Deutsche Bank Park, Frankfurt, Germany. Originally opened in 1925, Deutsche Bank Park was massively renovated in 2005, adding a retractable fabric roof system similar to that of BC Place in Vancouver. Located in Frankfurt, it was actually the host of the NFL Europe team, the Frankfurt Galaxy, from 1991 to 2007, with Galaxy legend JT O'Sullivan being named the 2007 NFL Europe MVP. Waldstadion, as it's also known, has hosted 2 NFL games, both in 2023. Estadio Azteca, Mexico City, Mexico. The host of an NFL game annually since 2016. Well, they skipped 1 year, and I'll tell you why in a second. Estadio Azteca has a capacity of over 87,523. Many historical events have taken place here. The 1968 Olympics and the 1986 FIFA World Cup, where the Hand of God goal took place right here on this pitch. Speaking of the pitch, a Shakira concert in 2018 caused the cancellation of the NFL International Series game here in 2018, but it's okay. The same two teams, the Chiefs and the Chargers, played here in 2019. The last NFL game here was in 2022, and it's unclear as to when they will come back. The stadium has a very old school appeal to it with exposed concrete and a steel roof truss system. Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, Madrid, Spain. I am extremely excited for this NFL International Series game, which will take place in 2025 after major renovations are complete to Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, home of the famous Real Madrid. The stadium was first opened in 1944 and went through a series of upgrades and was previously an open-air exposed concrete-style stadium. That all changed in 2019 as it was converted into a fully enclosed, retractable roof dome. Not only is this new stadium amazing in its design, it was also converted to this without interrupting games in the stadium. I'm sure whoever spends the money to go see an NFL game here is going to be blown away. I also hope that Camp Nou gets to host an NFL game too after they are complete with their renovations. And finally, let's travel to South America to see the host of the Week 1 matchup. Neoquímica Arena, Sao Paulo, Brazil. I probably messed that pronunciation up. This might be one of the most interesting stadiums I have ever seen, as it does not look like your typical soccer or football stadium. It has a full roof structure spanning the entire pitch. However, both sides of the stadium are completely open, allowing for full airflow across the stands and the grounds. The roof is not retractable though, rather fixed. The stadium was opened in 2014 and hosted 6 World Cup games that very same year. With a capacity of 48,234, this is the smallest international stadium the NFL has ever visited. Very surprising that they did not select the Maracanã in Rio as the first game in Brazil. I would have to say this is nothing like I have ever seen. I'm sure it will be an interesting environment for the season opener. So what do you think? Where should the International Series visit next? I'd personally love to see a game in Australia. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video. And also subscribe to my stadium only channel called 5 Point Stadiums.